All right, so welcome to this example here. We're going to take a look at how we can create a system of inequalities based on some context that we're given, and then try to solve that inequalities, or at least show kind of the area that will work for these inequalities. So here's our example. We're told that Candy is the manager of a clothing store selling t-shirts and hoodies. She wants to stock at least 3 times as many t-shirts as hoodies, and her store can hold a maximum of 950 items of clothing. So we're going to use these to come up with some inequalities that match the parameters given. Okay, so we need some inequalities that match the parameters given. Now, step one is always going to be define the variables that you have. What are the two things that are going to be differing or could be variable in this case? Well, firstly, we're going to have number of t-shirts in stock, and secondly, number of hoodies in stock. These are the two things that could be changing and are going to affect kind of what she can have in the store. Now, we're going to start with that comparison one. We're told that she wants to stock at least 3 times as many t-shirts as hoodies. So when we do a comparison one, we're going to have the x and the y on either side of the inequality. We're told that the t-shirts has to be 3 times bigger than hoodies. So that means that the x height has to be bigger. But if we want to make them equal to each other, we have to multiply the number of hoodies by 3. So it's going to look kind of like this. If we multiply the number of hoodies by 3, that number will still be less than or equal to the number of t-shirts that are in stock. So this is how we have to think through it. We're always having to multiply that one number by the number of times, okay? And we're going to multiply the smaller one by that to come up with the comparison. Now, the second thing, we're told that her store can hold a maximum of 950 items of clothing. That means that if we combine the two together, x plus y, that number still has to be less than or equal to 950. So these are going to be our system of inequalities, which is going to make this context work. All right, domain, which x values could be a part of that? Well, because we're dealing with counting, we can't have half a t-shirt or half a hoodie, or at least we're not going to be selling those. That means that they're going to be whole numbers. Our range is also going to be whole numbers, and our solution is going to look like this. Now you're going to notice there on the bottom of the graph, we have the area that's overlapping. And yes, I'm including the area that is below 0, even though we shouldn't because we're dealing with whole numbers. But there's that triangle that kind of fits in between 0, 0, 712.5, and 237.5, and 950, 0. That's the triangle that's going to represent where our solution could be. Any point in there which has whole number answers, okay, is going to be a value that could work for her store. Now, I hope that this has helped you. Be careful with those inequalities because they can be a little bit tricky at times, but you can use them to solve for the value of a question like this, and based on the context, create the parameters to do that. Hope you had a wonderful time here, and thank you for watching.